Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna Prabhus, Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome everyone to our ongoing study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We're studying Kapila Siksha, third canto, today chapter number 28. Om Jnanatamrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sanyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaihevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. We'll begin with the connection with the previous chapter. Having recommended in the previous chapter that a devotee must bring the mind under full control, now Lord Kapila will elaborate on the yoga system known as Ashtanga Yoga, which is part of Vaishnava practice, because its ultimate goal is to concentrate the mind on the Lord. Right, so we're going to hear about Ashtanga Yoga today, this chapter, mainly talking about Ashtanga Yoga. Here's the overview of the chapter. We will hear first of all about the different limbs of Ashtanga Yoga and the yoga practices which will bring about devotional service. So that's the first 12. Let's see. Canto 3, chapter 28. Okay, and that's the first section. And then after that we'll hear the description of the Lord's form. That will be overall. And then we'll hear about the different limbs of the Lord. So note the difference. In the beginning we'll hear the overall form of the Lord. And then 19 to 33, meditation on the different limbs, because that's what Ashtanga Yoga is, meditation. So 33 to 44, the results of meditation on the Lord. Okay. So first section, Ashtanga Yoga. Lord Kapila, the personality of Godhead, who is the highest authority on yoga, here explains the yoga system known as Ashtanga Yoga. Even Patanjali, explains that the target of all yoga is Vishnu. Ashtanga yoga is therefore part of Vaishnava practice because its ultimate goal is realization of Vishnu. Of course, Patanjali, he wrote the book called Yoga Sutras, which is well known. And so his book, Yoga Sutras, there's a lot of impersonalism there, but there's also some leaning towards personalism. Often the Yoga Sutras is read by impersonalists, unfortunately. But Prabhupada explains that Patanjali says the target of all yoga is Vishnu. And therefore Ashtanga yoga is part of Vaishnava practice. Okay. The achievement of success in yoga is not acquisition of mystic power, which is condemned in the previous chapter, but rather freedom from all material designations and situation in one's constitutional position. That is the ultimate achievement in yoga practice. So we should understand we're not practicing yoga to get mystic powers. We don't want to get yoga siddhis. But what we do want to do is to come to the higher consciousness to understand our spiritual position, our constitutional position, right? That we're all servants of Krishna. We want to get free from all material designations. We have heard that before. Sarvopadi vinir muktam, right? Sarvopadi vinir muktam. Upadis are designations. So give up all designations. Tat parat vina nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir chate. So it's a part of devotional service to give up material designations. So we have a little exercise for you, just to begin with. Get you thinking, get you reading. For every item in the yoga system, there is a parallel activity in Bhakti Yoga. But the practice of Bhakti Yoga is easier for this age. That's text 11, purport. Identify the yoga practices being prescribed in this section. We want you to look through the first 12 verses and identify the yoga practices in this section, and then discuss with your partner how each of them has a parallel in Bhakti Yoga. Oh, okay, wait. So, can we do this? Do you have a partner? How many people do we have here this evening?
14, Maharaj.
14. All right, so 7 pairs. How many ladies?
I don't have a count of it, Maharaj.
Anyway, I don't think you mind if you have a lady for a partner or a man for a partner, not a problem. It's online. Some people are together using the same set, is it?
Yes, Maharaj. So I have divided, Maharaj. So how many minutes?
Well, I think about, 12 verses? Shouldn't take very long. We'll give you 10 minutes.
Okay, Maharaj. Can I open the rooms?
Please.
Recording stopped.
I request everybody to join the rooms. Chitahari Prabhu and Punishri Mataji, please join the rooms. Chitahari Prabhu. Sharda Goringi Mataji, join right now. Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Well, I think they're in the rooms. They won't hear you, will they?
No, she just joined. Okay. Gopijani Prabhu, are you in a position to join the rooms?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mataji. Which room?
Actually, there is an exercise, par exercise going on.
Yes, Mataji. I'm sorry I joined you.
Okay,
Okay, you put me in any group?
One second, Prabhu, I'm assigning you to the room. Maharaj, I'll just check how they are doing in the rooms and I'll come back.
Okay.
Maharaj, just for a kind of information, there is only one class left in this unit for you next class, and after that, the unit 14 will start on April 4th, Maharaj. Because they are taking some time for the CBA, it's already there in the schedule, Maharaj, which I sent you.
Okay.
So you have this unit will end in the next class, and then unit 14 will start on April 4th.
Oh, I see. So it's a break of a few weeks, huh?
10 days, Maharaj, because they are all working, they need time to prepare for the CBA.
Yeah.
Normally they take 1 week, because this is very close to them, I have given extra time.
Okay.
Because this batch is like that, they want time for preparation.
Okay, good. That means they're very serious. Yeah. They want time, they prepare. It's good. Take it seriously. They want to do well.
Many of them are reading now. Just went into the rooms. Only few are discussing.
They didn't read before, eh?
Online, that is a problem, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, you will be staying in Mayapur only?
Yes, I think so, yeah. I'm here, yeah. I have no plans to go anywhere.
Next year you will be able to take Kapila Siksha, Maharaj, because I am starting a batch in the month of May, Bhakti Vaibhava Module 1. So can I make the schedule if you allow me and let you know the dates?
What for?
The same Kapila Siksha, Unit 13 and 14.
Kapila Siksha?
Yes.
Uh-huh. When will it be?
It will come next year, Maharaj, because I'll start in May. If you are interested in teaching other units, then we can accommodate accordingly.
Oh, I
Maharaj.
see. We'll start in May, yeah? So it'll be next year.
I'm just booking you in advance, Maharaj, because you're very busy.
Yeah. A little bit. I took the day off. I didn't go on the parikrama.
Oh.
For the Goramandala parikrama, you know, we were going.
Yeah, I'm seeing the videos, Maharaj.
Oh, really? Where are they?
Yeah. It's published on YouTube, Maharaj. Mataji shared the link, Shama Kopika.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll tell her to share the link with you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. It's every parikrama you go, it's shared in Mayapur.com, that website is there, so they are sharing it actually in Facebook.
Oh, good. Yeah, if you have the website, or it's on Facebook, is it?
Yeah, it's on Facebook, Maharaj, but there is link actually. When they post it, they'll share the link.
Okay.
Mataji shares the link.
Yeah, if you have the details, or you could you send it to me?
Yeah, I will send it to you, Mataji. The full year one I have, I can send it to you right away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, Pulia.
Yeah.
I'd never been there before.
Oh. Maharaj, can I tell them 5 more minutes, or you're going to stick to the time?
Yeah, I don't want to rush too much, you know.
Okay, Maharaj.
I think
I'll just announce them 5 minutes. You want me to share the videos with you, Maharaj, or just the link?
Just the links.
Maria, I just shared the Facebook one. If you just click on the link, it will show you that, and you can also see the other days you went.
Okay, thank you very
They're
much.
in mypur.com and Facebook, actually. If you just go into one link, you can see the other things also.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. In a minute, I'm calling them back, Maharaj. So
Yeah.
in another 2 minutes, we
Yeah.
will close down the rooms.
Okay.
Maharaj, once they are back, I will start the recording.
All right.
That is a hint that they are all back.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, pranams. Mataji, by mistake I pressed the leave. How do I go back, Mataji?
There is only 10 seconds. I'm closing the rooms. Everybody will join back. So please wait, Mataji.
Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, Dandavat, Pranam.
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisance.
All right. Please accept mine. So, did you discuss everything?
Time was too short, Maharaj. Almost everything, but some extent we discussed.
All right. Let's hear. First of all, let's hear which yoga practices did you find being did you see prescribed in the first section? What were the yoga practices?
Mataji, do we want to go group wise? How?
Yeah, go ahead. You can speak.
Okay, Maharaj. So, in Shloka 1, we already saw the slide where, Ashtanga Yoga is considered part of Vaishnava practice, because there also the ultimate goal is attaining Vishnu. There are various steps like observing silence, practicing different yoga asanas, pranayam, controlling the breath, withdrawing the senses, concentrating mind on the heart. So all these can also be achieved in Bhakti Yoga. It says observing silence, but Bhakta doesn't talk, Prajalpa. He would like to talk Krishna Katha. And the steadiness in Bhakti, the controlling breath of air and all that, essentially that is to control the mind so that the mind can concentrate on the Lord in the heart. Whereas Bhakta, he achieves that automatically. We see the example of Amrish Maharaj, Savay Mana Padar Vindayo. So these are some of the examples, Maharaj, other devotees can share. I have a question I can ask at the end, Maharaj, after others share.
Okay.
Radharani Mataji has raised her hand, Maharaj.
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Some of the, like how Rasesh Prabhu said, some of the qualities like ahimsa, satyam, these which come under yama and niyama of the Ashtanga yoga practices, like the devotees also follow ahimsa because they understand Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, and everything in relation to Krishna, they take that everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, so they naturally become non-violent. And satyam, truthfulness, also they understand that the Lord is sitting, upadrishtanu mantacha, they understand the Lord is sitting as a witness, and so they never speak a lie. So like this, these practices of yama and niyama also bhakti yogi practices.
Okay, what about asana? Does bhakti yoga practice asana?
Yes, when we are chanting, we generally sit straight in one position. We concentrate on our hearing, and that also is a particular asana, padmasana, which they call. And sometimes during the kirtan, many of us do the Swami step, which Srila Prabhupada said, with raised hands. So that is also one of the asana which the yogis follow.
Yes. Anybody could add anything to that? And asanas? What else do we do?
Bhakti Yoga, no asana is required, Maharaj. We can just by asana is not a must. We can do just by hearing and chanting. It is more than enough. Concentrate on hearing and chanting.
You don't offer obeisances? You never offer any obeisances?
Definitely we offer, Maharaj.
Well, isn't that asana? Getting up, bowing down?
Yeah, that is the asana, Maharaj. Yes, Dandavat Pranam is asana, yes.
You offer your obeisances, that's also asana, right? You dance in the kirtan also. Okay, what about pranayama?
We don't do any pranayama, Maharaj. Breathing like chanting Hare Krishna, so the breathing in and breathing out, that itself is asana.
Yes, right, chanting, that's the parallel. That's the process, that's the parallel in Bhakti Yoga, chanting. That is our pranayama. Okay, what about the pratyahara?
Yes, we also withdraw our senses.
Huh?
We also withdraw our senses and engage the senses in positive Krishna conscious activities.
Yes, right. Our pratyahara is to use the senses in the service of Krishna. Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, meditation. Do we do meditation? Dhyana?
Yes, Maharaj, we do meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
How?
By chanting.
Only?
Maharaj, when we take darshan of the deities, we
Thank
start
you.
from the lotus feet.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, the deity worship. That is our meditation.
We also engage in devotional services like arranging the paraphernalia, doing the arati. In fact, like while cooking prasadam and bhog to the Lord also, we always try to meditate on the Supreme Person, here chanting always.
Right.
That was.
Okay, good.
Example is Ambarish Maharaj. He used to engage all the limbs of the body in the service of the Lord.
Now what about samadhi? Do we get?
We don't believe in Samadhi, Maharaj.
We don't believe in samadhi. We don't believe in having a fixed mind.
Fixing our mind. We are also fixing our mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and the pastimes, transcendental Vaikuntha pastimes.
Yes, fix our mind on Krishna. Right.
Maharaj, highest concentration when closed book exam is going to come.
Okay. All right. So you had a question. What's your question, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I was thinking, pratyahara or control the senses, eating only prasadam offered to the Lord can also come under pratyahara.
Yes. Well, pratyahara, offering prasadam to the Lord. Yeah, you could think like that. It depends on the mood and you're offering prasadam. Are you offering it for the Lord and then distribute to others, or is it just for yourself to eat? Sometimes we offer the prasadam, we just eat it ourselves, we don't distribute to anybody.
That is in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, Maharaj. Beginning we are eating, later on when we realize we distribute to others.
Okay, so it depends on your level of realization. Okay, we'll go ahead. Right? Here you can see the different stages. We need someone to read this for me. Someone read Yama.
Chittahari Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yama, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-accepting more than necessary, celibacy and silence.
Okay. And Niyama.
Follow one's duties of
Varnashrama.
Varnashrama. Avoid forbidden duties, constant thought of liberation, eat pure food in moderate quantities, live in a secluded and peaceful place, austerity, cleanliness, study of Vedas and worship of the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
Gopijan Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Pranayam, someone.
Gopijan Prabhu. Kirtanesh Prabhuji. Nityanishan Prabhu. Haribol.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Niyama, follow one's duties of Varnashrama.
No. Pranayama.
Pranayama. Control the breath, purify the passage for prana by practice of Kumbhaka, Puraka, and Rekaka, so that the mind becomes steady and pure. Benefit, doshas of body are destroyed.
Okay. So pranayama, you can live longer, you can extend your life by doing pranayama. It's quite good for health. Prabhupada calls it the nose pressing yoga. Nose pressing yoga, right? You press the nose, left nostril, right nostril. So these are the different processes, Kumbhaka, Puraka and Rechaka, and become peaceful and get rid of a lot of diseases. Go ahead, Pratyahara.
Withdraw the senses from material objects and turn them towards the heart using the mind. Benefits, association with sense objects is destroyed. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Punish Srimataji. Radharani Mataji.
Dharana.
Hare Krishna.
One second. Dharana. Fix the prana at one spot among the various chakras by the mind. Meditate on the Supreme Lord by looking at the tip of the nose. Benefit, sins are destroyed.
Okay, you think we could do that? Meditate, look at the tip of the nose, meditate on the Supreme Lord. Not very easy. Go ahead, Diana.
Radheshyam Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Meditation on the individual limbs of the Lord and the pastimes of the SW. They benefit, uncontrollable qualities are destroyed.
Uncontrollable qualities. So it's nice to know about the different limbs of the Lord. We'll hear about that later tonight as we go on. There's a detailed description, the different qualities, the features of the limbs of the Lord. And then Samadhi.
Ramanaja Prabhu.
Samadhi. Then he attends Samadhi of the mind. When the mind becomes detached from all material objects, the mind suddenly gets destroyed. Having destroyed the misconceptions of his body, he sees his Atma without coverings. Thus, he is situated in his own position, beyond happiness and stress.
Okay. So, mind has to become detached from all material things. Here you can see diagrammatic representation of the different angas. On the bottom, we have the yoga rurukshu, where we have to cultivate detachment, working. And on the top of the yoga, you have yoga rudha, where you can stop work. On the lower stage, we're encouraged to work. But on the top level of yoga, then you can stop work and you can simply absorb the mind. So absorb the mind, you can see it's mentioned samadhi, meditation, absorption, remembering, hearing. And come to the higher level of yoga by sadhana bhakti. So nothing really new there. So text 13 to 18, we have a description of the Lord's form.
Maharaj?
Uh-huh.
Maharaj, Rajesh Prabhu had a question. He has raised his hand, Maharaj.
Oh, really? Yeah, what's your question, Prabhu?
Dandvat Pranams Maharaj. I have a question from the purport on text number 4. I will just read 2-3 lines, Maharaj, and then request you to elaborate a little bit on that. The word asteyam is also very important for a yogi. Asteyam means to refrain from theft. In the broader sense, everyone who accumulates more than he needs is a thief. According to spiritual communism, one cannot possess more than he needs for his personal maintenance. That is the law of nature. Anyone who accumulates more money or more possessions than he needs is called a thief. And one who simply accumulates wealth without spending for sacrifice or for worship of the personality of Godhead is a great thief. Maharaj, request you to elaborate here a little bit on the understanding as to, what's the practical application of this, as to keep only whatever you need for personal maintenance, and so how to quantify this?
Well, of course, it's going to be different for different people. Different people live at different standards. But the general principle is that we shouldn't be greedy and we shouldn't accumulate more than what we actually need. we've had this before in Ishopanishad. The Ishopanishad speaks about the Ishavasya, accepting your quota. Don't take more, knowing well to whom it belongs, right?
Right, Maharaj.
So that was there in the Ishopanishad. So the same point is being made here. If we accumulate wealth without spending for sacrifice, then it's described as being you're a great thief. Certainly we encourage people, sacrifice your hard-earned wealth for the service of the Lord. It's for your eternal benefit. And you'll see also Nectar of Instruction. Nectar of Instruction, you'll remember, spoke about giving gifts in charity, and offering charitable gifts. There it mentions about sacrificing 50% of we should sacrifice 50% for the service of the Lord. Of course, that's a big amount. That's a great sacrifice. But there are examples in our line. We have Rupa Goswami, when he retired, how he divided his wealth. He gave 50% for the devotees and the Vaishnavas, the Brahmins. He gave 25% for his family, and he kept 25% for himself, for emergency. You have Kolaveka Sridhar. Kolaveka Sridhar was always, every day he was spending 50% to worship Mother Ganga. So, when you do like that, then you won't accumulate more wealth than necessary. And Prabhupada also guided us like that with the temples. The devotees who were managing the temples, Srila Prabhupada used to say to them, you should spend 50% of the income of the temple on book distribution, to purchase books from the BBT. 50% of your income should go for books. And the principle is that rather than keeping money in the bank, it's better to keep books. You may keep your money in the bank may go broke, or your money may be devalued. But the books, that's always valuable. So Prabhupada encouraged us like that, not to accumulate more than what we need. Try to minimize our demands. We should understand everything belongs to Krishna. In Karma Yoga, when we give charity, we think, I'm giving. But in Bhakti Yoga, when we give charity, we understand it's not mine, it's all Krishna's. I'm giving back to him. So the highest principle is to give everything for the service of Krishna. Is that all right, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Dhanvats.
Okay, we're going to go ahead here.
Maharaj, one more hand is on Maharaj, Ramanuja Prabhu.
Yes.
So, Maharaj, I just wanted to ask about the previous picture which Maharaj showed.
I can't hear you clearly, Prabhu. It's not clear. I don't know what you're saying.
So, Maharaj, am I audible now, Maharaj?
Your voice is breaking, Prabhu, so it's not clear.
Prabhu, you may want to turn off the video, then it may be better.
Okay. Am I audible now, Maharaj?
Go ahead, we'll try.
Maharaj has shown us a picture of Ashtanga Yoga process. In there, the process of Yamatya Dharana was done with sadhana bhakti, and dhyana and samadhi were kept separate. Is there any particular reason for that?
Did you get it all, Padma Sundari?
He is asking the Ashtanga Yoga picture. Dhyana, in the top, Dhyana and Samadhi is kept separate. Is there any special reason for that?
Dhyana?
Till Dharana, it is kept in the Yoga Rurukshu, and the Yoga Ruda state, Dhyana and Samadhi is kept. Is there any special reason for that?
Well, I haven't come across it in my readings. I don't know where he got it. The devotee.
The picture is showing it.
Yeah, I see it. I see it there, yeah. Samadhi, meditation, absorption, remembering, hearing.
It's there in the purport of the description of the 6th chapter, which talks about 6.3, Yoga Ruda, Yoga Rurukshu. You can read from there, Prabhu, Ramanuja Prabhu.
Okay, but thank you very much.
Oh, there it talks about the relationship with Samadhi and Dhyana?
There is an explanation of the Yoga Ruruksha and Yoga Ruda.
Yes, but they don't connect it to Dhyana and Samadhi.
Yeah, this is given by Chaga Chaitanya Das, Prabhu.
Yes, I know him. I know Chaga Chaitanya Prabhu. He's in Malaysia.
Yeah.
He's a nice man. I'll ask him sometime about this. I don't know. But I don't know myself any real connection there between the... Certainly, the Yoga Rudra is the Samadhi stage, cessation of work. We know that. But at the bottom, Yoga Rudra was cultivating detachment, and the cultivating of detachment means work. Working, but with a detached manner, without attachment to the results. So that was at the bottom, that's the Yoga Rurukshu stage. That there has to be work. And the work will gradually bring about purification and detachment and sadhana bhakti, right? And sadhana bhakti will go on and lead to the higher stages of samadhi. You'll be able to observe. If you come to the higher stages beyond sadhana bhakti, you'll come more to bhava bhakti and prema bhakti, and you may come to the stage of meditation and fixed mind, 7 and 8. Sometimes Prabhupada would compare the 7th stage of Ashtanga Yoga to our 3rd stage in Bhakti Yoga. He said our 3rd stage is remembering. He said that is the 7th stage in Ashtanga Yoga, remembering. So I heard that from Prabhupada in a lecture tape. He did say that our remembering is like the 7th stage of the Ashtanga Yogi.
Thank you so much, man.
Okay, so here we go. 13 to 18, description of the Lord's form. We want to identify different aspects of the Lord's form and the different metaphors which are used to describe that in the form. If we look through verses 13 to 18, maybe we can take a verse each. We have how many groups? We have about 5, 6 groups. How many groups do we have, Maharaji?
The same paths, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Once again, Maharaj. We have 7.
Okay, so 13, that will be group 1, text 13. Group 2 will be 14. Group 3 will be 15. Group 4 will be 16. Group 5 will be 17. And group 6 will be 18.
Maharaj, I'll divide them into 6 groups.
Okay.
That would be easier.
Yes. We just want to hear your description of the Lord's form. We want to hear your favorite aspect of the Lord's form. Right? Do you have a favorite aspect? We don't have long, you just have one verse each, so we'll just give you 5 minutes.
So according to your rooms, your verse numbers are there. Room 1, verse 13, 2, 14, 3, 15, 4, 16, 5, 17, and 6, 18. How much time, Maharaj?
5 minutes.
Okay, please join the rooms.
Recording stopped.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We're in 5, no? So that means 17.
Yeah, we will read sloka number 17, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, let's read 17.
Yes, the Lord is eternally very beautiful, and He is worshipable by all inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow His blessings upon His devotees.
Hare Krishna.
I don't see any metaphors there.
Purport is there, Mataji, Maharaj.
In the purport?
Yeah, there is a purport.
Okay.
Long purport. So, we'll read the first para, Maharaj.
Okay.
The word Sarvaloka Namaskara Kartam means He is worshipable by everyone, every planet. There are innumerable planets in the material world, and innumerable planets in the spiritual world as well. On each planet, there are innumerable inhabitants who worship the Lord. For the Lord, worshipable by all, but the impersonal is. The Supreme Lord is very beautiful. The word Saswat is significant. It is not that He appears beautiful to devotees, but is ultimately impersonal. Saswat means ever existing. The beauty is not temporary, it is ever existing. He always youth. In the Brahma Samhita, it is also said, Advaita Achyuta Anadi Ananta Rupam Advai Purana Purusham Navayavanam Cha. He is one without a second. One without a second. Yes, although He is the original person, He never appears old. He always appears as an ever fresh, blooming youth. Explanation has been given about the shloka. The Lordship is always young, ever existing.
All right. So, in conclusion?
Is one without a second can be metaphor for marriage? Can it be?
It's not a metaphor.
Then there is nothing.
Doesn't matter. But the description is there. Some qualities. Yes. Anything? Yes. What's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. He gives anugraha, brutya anugraha kata. Very eager to give anugraha to the devotee.
That's your favorite, huh?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Maharaj, when everything is compared to lotus, like lotus face, we say lotus hand, lotus feet, lotus navel, lotus eyes, that
yes.
It's not a metaphor, but compared to the beauty of the lotus.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, suspicious. The lotus is considered very most beautiful, right?
so we can say that point.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
And then the favorite is lotus feet. They said the whole universe is present in his lotus feet.
Okay, I think we can close down everything. Go back.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you,
Thank you,
devotees.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji Maharaj.
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Padma Sundari. Padma Sundari.
Maharaj, everybody is back.
Okay, good. All right, so let's hear group 13. The
Recording
the
in
first
progress.
verse, group 1.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, in the 13th verse, Prabhupada says here very clearly that we should focus on the personal form of the Lord, stopping at the form. And then here it is said about the Lord's attribute of color, Nilotpaladala. So, and Prabhupada here very heavily states that it is not a poetic concoction, the Lord's color is. It is, we have to take it as it is, as given in the scriptures, authorized scriptures like Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And also the Lord, Prabhupada says over here, another attribute of Padma, Padma Garbha Aruna, means the inside of the lotus, that color is the colors of the Lord's eyes, lotus eyes. So that's what resembles Prabhupada says over here.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Very interesting. Ruddy eyes, like the interior of a lotus. Huh? Okay, we'll go ahead. Group 14, text 14, group 2.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In 14, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport the one of the 6 opulences, that is wealth of the Lord, and exact color of the Lord's garment, which is saffron yellow. And here the metaphor is used. It is like a pollen of the lotus flower. And Kasturba gem, it is hanging on his Lord's chest, is described, and Lord's neck is beautifully decorated with the jewels and pearls.
Yes, and also the mark of Srivatsa on his chest, on his breast, right?
Yeah.
See the Lord from the lotus feet until the crown, Maharaj. The Lord here is wearing a very wonderful garland made of silver flowers, and there is a swarm of bees. Of that garland is so much that the bees are intoxicated and they are humming around the garland, Maharaj. And the Lord is dressed with a very wonderful pearl necklace, Maharaj. Here, a few philosophical points that is mentioned here is the flower garland of the Supreme. Everything is fresh. In the spirituality, everything is eternal and inexhaustible. And very important that actually I like very much is in the spiritual sky, 1 minus 1 is equal to 1 and 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. So there is nothing getting diminished in the spiritual sky, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Okay, spiritual mathematics. 1 plus 1 is 1. And could you explain it in spiritual terms in relation to Krishna? Krishna plus everything?
Yes, Krishna plus everything is Krishna only, Maharaj, because everything emanates from Krishna. There's nothing bereft of Krishna.
And
You can
Krishna,
refer to a sloka of Purnamada Purnam.
and Krishna minus everything is?
Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, next text.
Maharaj, the last part we haven't touched, Maharaj. Be prepared to share with the rest of the class your favorite aspect of the Lord's form.
Oh yes, okay. What's your favorite form?
The form has a Gopa Maharaj.
Gopa. Krishna is a Gopa.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, you like the cowherd boys? Good. All right, text 16.
Hey Krishna Maharaj, text number 16, it explains about the Lord's loins and hips, which is encircled by a girdle, and that the Lord stands on the lotus of the devotee's heart. And then it goes on to say that when a devotee sees the Lord, also the Lord's form, is most charming to look at, and it gladdens the eyes and souls of the devotees. Srila Prabhupada explains that we may have so many desires, but once we see the form of the Lord, all our desires are fully satisfied. And further, Srila Prabhupada says that we may have desire to see, hear, or touch, but when these desires are dovetailed for satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that is the topmost perfection.
Okay. And what's your favorite aspect of the Lord?
The Lord who is always there, playing with the devotees and who's always fulfilling their desires. Just as Bhagavad Gita says that Yogakshamam Bahamiham, the Lord is always there for devotees. The moment they pray, the Lord responds.
Okay. Good. Go ahead, next group, text 17.
Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Yeah, Radhesham, go ahead.
Please, Prabhuji, you go ahead, Prabhuji. Tattvavid Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, we're not having any metaphor here, Maharaj, but we saw the 4 aspects. That is, he's eternally like a 15-year-old boy, and then he's beautiful and he's worshipped by all peoples of all the planets, and he's very eager. This point we all loved it. He's very eager to bless his servants, and this is our favorite match. He's very eager to bless all the devotees.
Okay. You're eager to get the Lord's blessings. The Lord is eager to give his blessings.
Yes.
Devotees, of course, we don't like to take the blessings from the Lord. We like to give service. We're not just come to get blessings, but we want to give service. We should feel the Lord has already given us so much. We want to give service. Anyway, okay. Text 18.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, in the Shloka 18, it is mentioned Kirtanya Tirtha Yashasam, the worth singing Lord glories. So when I see the Lord is called as Uttama Shloka, when I see the best poetry used to glorify the Lord, like Brahma Samhita or so many prayers in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I feel so much enchanted, and I feel so amazing that one. Even I like that poetry, I inspire so much, Maharaj. And our South Indian Venkateshwara Suprabhatam also, that is also one of the example of best poetry, Uttama Shloka. And here it is mentioned, Punya Shloka Yashaskaram. His glories enhance the glory of the devotees. And Prabhupada is mentioning one can become purified simply by chanting the name of his holy devotee also. So when we read either Chaitanya Charitamrita or when we read the different characteristics of Jagannath stories and I inspire so much, like Dasya Bauri, who is very pure devotee of the Lord, and Srila Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami inspires even in his old age, how much he dedicated for writing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. That inspires me a lot, Maharaj. Like devotees, we have to always remember them. Here the mentioning by simply chanting the holy name of the devotee also, we will get purified. That is the special aspect in this shloka. And the second, which is my favorite aspect of the Lord form, is Supreme Lord Jagannath is my favorite aspect, Maharaj, who is always looking, Aishwaryam Bhava, but who is always looking for mode of understand the Radharani. So this form is my favorite, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll go ahead. Srila Prabhupada's purport accomplish 3 purposes. First of all, they denigrate impersonalism. Secondly, direct the devotees to the deity form. And thirdly, describe the Lord's beauty. Okay? We want to appreciate the beauty of the Lord. That's so important. So dressing the deities from the deity is very important. You know, the dresses should be very nice. Prabhupada was very concerned to see the deities nicely dressed. And we do have a very high standard in ISKCON. So there are 8 different kinds of materials recommended for the devotees to see the form of the Lord. So these different materials are mentioned. Sand, clay, wood, you know, Jagannath is there, Darumurti, wood, stone. And we get, of course, many stone deities. They may be contemplated within the mind, jewels, metal, painted colors, and all the forms are of the same value. So we should understand that. It doesn't matter if it's sand or clay or jewels or whatever, they all have the same value because they're all the Supreme Lord. Okay, going ahead, meditation on the individual limbs of the Lord. We spoke about the overall form of the Lord. Now we're going to look at the different limbs of the Lord, beginning from his lotus feet. So you have your groups, right? So let me see. First group will take the lotus feet, and then the second group will take the thigh. I think it's the thighs. And then the third group will take the hips. And then there's the chest for the fourth group. And then there's the arms of the Lord for the fifth group. And then the face of the Lord for the sixth group. And the lotus eyes for the seventh group.
You want to make 7 groups, Maharaj?
Yeah, how many groups have we got? Oh, we can have one more. I think there's something. I have to look at the text again to remember. What goes after the head? After the lotus eyes? Then I have to check on that.
There is a smile.
Oh, the smile.
Eyebrows,
Yeah,
and laughter.
smile and laughter. Okay, thank you.
How many groups, Maharaj?
Yeah, how many people have we got?
We have got 18.
Okay, so we could have 9 groups, yeah?
Okay, Maharaj.
Recording stopped.
So we want to hear the metaphors, description of the limbs, the metaphors, any metaphors used, and the glories or the benefit they grant upon the devotees.
How many minutes, Maharaj?
Just
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yes.
Okay, please join the room. So is the question clear to all of you?
Which group is doing what is not clear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Group 1, the lotus feet. Group 2, the legs of the. Group 4, the chest. Group 5, the arms, the lotus face of the Lord. Group 7, the smile. Group 8, the eyes.
And there is group 9 also, Maharaj.
Oh yeah, group 9, the top of the head.
Top of the head.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
I guess I'm the one here. Eyes.
Oh yes? Nobody else is with you?
Not yet. No one joined.
Okay, you're doing the eyes, is it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Did you find the verse?
Not yet.
Must be further up.
Face, curly hair. Or 30th shloka. 31 also.
31, 30.
Curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes. Hare Krishna Girirani Mataji. Lotus-like eyes.
Oh yes, a beautiful analogy.
Yes, his two eyes are compared to two fish swimming about.
Yes. A lotus surrounded by swarming bees.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's an analogy, and
P1 also is having about the eyes. Yogi should contribute. Compassionate glances frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of his devotees.
oh, okay, so the benefit also.
Yes.
Soothe the most fearful threefold agonies. His glances, accompanied by loving smiles, are full of
abundant grace.
Wonderful. Okay, I think you've got a good thing there then, Maharaj. Mataji.
Yes, Maharaj.
Maharaj, can I close the rooms?
Yeah, I think so. Hare Krishna, everyone back?
No, Maharaj, 20 seconds left.
Oh, sorry.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so welcome back. So we're beginning like text 19. Then text 19, who have we got? Well, we wanted to hear about the lotus feet of the Lord.
From room 1, Radha Harini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Pranam. So from text 19, it is said that the yogi should visualize the Lord standing, moving, and sitting or lying down. And actually the Lord's lotus feet are described in text 21 and 22. In text 21, it is said that the Lord's lotus feet are adorned with the marks of thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, and a lotus. And here the metaphors which are used is the Lord's ruby nails. They are as beautiful as ruby nails and are shining, and they resemble the orb of the moon. And by meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, it dispels the thick gloom, or it dispels the ignorance in the devotee's heart. And in text 22, the Lord's lotus feet is so glorified because the Ganga, which is what washed the Lord's lotus feet, and the Lord Shiva carries it on his head, and therefore he is also become important and great. The words used is Shiva, Shivo Abhut. He has become auspicious because of carrying the Ganga on his lotus head. And by also meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, they act like thunderbolts by removing the mountain of sin in the mind of the meditating devotee. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you very much. Very nice. Okay, go ahead, next group.
Bhakti Mataji and Radhesham Prabhu.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna Mataji. Maharaj, we found here that goddess Lakshmi ji is she's always found massaging the legs and thighs of the transcendental Lord, very carefully serving the Lord. So as here we generally says that, I mean normally, so Lakshmi, I mean the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi ji is a goddess of fortune, but Lakshmi ji is always engaged in massaging the legs and thighs of the Supreme Personality of Lord, Godhead Narayana, who is lying on the ocean of the Garbho Akshay within universe.
Yeah.
And
yes. Did you find anything else about the legs, thighs?
This much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, one point I wanted to add in this. Here, Abhayasya is very significant. For it indicates that he could produce Brahma without the assistance of the goddess's fortune. Because the Lord is eternal. Without any this thing, he can produce Brahma. That is the thing. Yes, Maharaj.
Without a consort, he could produce Brahma.
Yes.
What about the thighs?
Maharaj, my internet is unstable.
Did you also look at the thighs?
Thighs point, Maharaj.
You didn't get around to that, huh?
No, Maharaj. This sloka only we read.
Okay. So if you look at text 20, who was the next group? What were you doing? Group 3?
They're doing the Maharaj.
They're doing what?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj. We were doing gifts, but this
Ramanuja Prabhu, your voice is breaking. We cannot hear you. Ramanuja Prabhu, your voice is breaking. Let Shri Prada Mataji speak because we cannot hear you. Ramanuja Prabhu, hope you are able to hear us. Your voice is breaking.
Here are the thighs.
Maharaj, the next group is doing hips, Maharaj.
Okay, if you look at text 24, then we'll just look at it together. It describes there the Lord's thighs. We'll describe this being the storehouse
of energy.
Yes, Maharaj. Thighs and both the hips are given.
Okay,
here the metaphor Lord's thighs are like whitish blue, like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful, and the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. It is mentioned here, Maharaj. And hips, that is rounded hips, which are encircled by girdle that rests on exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles here mentioned, Maharaj. And the yogi who is concentrating on each limb, especially thighs, the Lord thighs is mentioned reservoir of all strength, and his strength rests on his thighs of his transcendental body. His whole body is full of opulences, riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge and renunciation is mentioned here. And yogi is advised to meditate on transcendental form. There is no reason for meditating on something imaginary, as this is the practice of so-called yogis whose objective is impersonal.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Next group is, the topic is chest, and Chittahari Prabhu and Gopi Janakrishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, here it said that Mahavibhute, Sri Lakshmi Devi, she is reciting in the Vaksha, Adhivasam in Vaksha, and then she has been addressed as Mahavibhute, that means she is having all powers. And then it is also said that the powers which actually depended later, where it is said that the yogis will concentrate their mind, dhyana, manonayana, anivritte. So they focus on the Lord's chest, and then they will be very pleased by that focus. And then Prabhupada says over here, by so doing, the yogis get all the powers, mystic powers, because they desire mystic powers, so they get all the mystic powers because of the mercy of the Lakshmi Devi, who resides in the heart of the Lord.
Okay.
Next group is Nitya Nashina Prabhu and Tattvavid Prabhu. Topic is arms.
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj. So, a couple of points from this topic, arms of the Lord. So, the demigods are they control the various functions of the material nature, but they get the powers from the arms of the Lord. This is point number 1, Maharaj. Point number 2, now he has these weapons starting from Sudarshan Chakra, then he has Komodaki, the mace, then he has a sword called Nandaka, and then he has a conch shell. Now the Sudarshan Chakra contains 1,000 spokes, and it is dazzling brilliantly. And then he holds his conch, which is like a swan, in his lotus palm. And this Komodaki, that is smeared with blood of the enemies. And of course, it removes fear from the devotee's heart. And then he also has a sword called Nandakam.
Okay. Everything is
This is
ready.
Brajeshwari Mataji and Prabhu. Lotus face.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. In the text 29, it's described here the yogis should meditate upon the lotus-like countenance of the Lord. And the main purpose is that actually why the Lord appears, because of his compassion for the devotees, he appears. And then there is a description about his nose, which is prominent, and his cheeks are very crystal clear, and he is having a alligator-shaped earrings on his ears, and it is very illuminating and oscillating. And then it is described here that in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the Lord mainly descends on a deep compassion for his devotees. There is no need for him to come personally to destroy the demons, which can be done by his agents, but he specifically comes to give pleasure to his devotees. And during that time, he just, as a matter of course, he killed the demons. And in the Brahma Samhita, it's mentioned that Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi Rupam, that all the different forms of the Lord are one. But each devotee may like to see the different forms of the Lord. One may like to see Radha Krishna, one may like to worship Sita Ramachandra, Lakshmi Narayana. So according to the desire of the devotees, the Lord appears in different forms. And it's mentioned that actually the yogis cannot imagine any form. They have to meditate upon the forms which are approved by the devotees. And in text 30 also there is a description about the beautiful face of the Lord, and there is mentioned about the curly hair decorated by a lotus, and he is having a lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. And it's like lotus surrounded by swarming bees, and a pair of swimming fish would be put to shame by its beauty of the Lord. So here Prabhupada mentioned that purport the word Dhyayen Manomayam. The Manomayam is again, it's not an imagination, as the impulsionist may think that they can imagine any form and meditate upon the Lord, which is not approved. Devotees, they do not imagine a form, they only worship the Lord forms which are approved and authorized by the scriptures and given by the authorities.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Udarsham Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Next is a 31 shloka. It shows the yogi should contemplate with the full devotion and compassionate glance frequently cast by the Lord eye for the soothe of the most fearful three agonies of his devotees. The glances are accompanied by loving smiles and full of abundant grace. It says that whenever basically that in the conditioned life we are always have a suffering and anxieties and agonies which cannot be avoided. But in the transcendental, sometimes we can even in transcendental plane we can have anxieties and some disturbances. This can be only mitigated by Supreme Personality Godhead, his smile, his beautiful smile. When we look on the smile, his form of a smile, it can mitigate all of our anxieties and his influences. And the Lord bestows innumerable favor upon his devotees by showing his smile, with the grace of his smile. That is the fullness of compassion. His smile is with the full of compassion for his pure devotees. Hare Krishna. This has been described in that 31.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
Girirani Mataji and Brajapreshna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, our text 30 is describing the Lord's beautiful lotus-like eyes and the eyebrows
they are saying that the eyebrows are dancing, and Prabhupada is comparing these to analogy that his two eyes are compared to two fish which are swimming about. And the lotus flower on the water is very beautiful when surrounded with humming bees and fish. So Lord's face is that beautiful. And in the next shloka 31, it is mentioned that the yogis should fully contemplate on these glances which the Lord gives, cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies. All the anxieties and agonies which are natural for a human being in this material conditioned life, they are all gone with the beautiful glance of the Lord.
All right, fine, thank you.
And Janki Mataji and Rashish Prabhu about the top of the head.
I think there was nothing on the top of it. I think it's just a smile. The only thing we didn't do was the laughter in text 33.
And with Pranams Maharaj, there is the arched eyebrows.
Oh, the arched eyebrows, okay.
In text 32. So, you know, the Lord's eyebrows are compared to an arc, and these eyebrows are so charming that, you know, one can forget the charms of the sensual attraction of this material world. And all the living entities are shackled here in the material existence because of the attraction to sense gratification. And the eyebrows of the Lord, they protect the devotees and the sages from this lust of the material world. So that's the significance, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. Yeah, okay, fine.
There's one hand raised, Maharaj.
Yes.
Bharati Mataji's hand is raised.
Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. Maharaj, can you elaborately explain the marks of the lotus feet of the Lord? Because we know only little bit. Can you explain, Maharaj, please?
Well, there's a whole book on it, you know. There's a book by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which was published some years ago by Mahanidhi Swami. It's a little booklet. I happen to have a copy of it. The different, there's a lot of markings there, like 18 markings, you know. If you want to go through each of them, take some time, you know. But I'll try to send you a copy out. Maybe we'll photocopy it and send it to the devotees. It'll be useful.
What's the name of the book, Maharaj?
Yeah, I can't remember right now, but I have it in my bag. I have to get it out for you. I'll tell you to next class.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We'll send you our...
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
I'll give Padma Sundari the details, and you can get it. It should be online. It should be available online. I'll get the name and give it to Padma Sundari, and she'll give it to everyone.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead. Let's see. Okay, here's the lotus feet of the Lord. Very nice. Do you recognize his lotus feet? Have you seen them before?
Madhava.
Mayapur, Radha Madhava.
Jai. List reasons why the process of hearing and chanting and fixing the mind on the pastimes of the Lord is superior to meditation on the Lord. The only difference is that hearing and fixing the mind on the pastimes of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord within one's heart, because as soon as one begins to think of the Lord, especially in this age, the mind becomes disturbed. And due to so much agitation, the process of seeing the Lord within the mind is interrupted. For example, even a child can hear and derive the benefit of meditating on the pastimes of the Lord simply by listening to a reading from the Bhagavatam. that describe the Lord as he is going to the pasturing grounds with his cows and friends. In this age of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita. The Lord also says that the Mahatmas or great souls always engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord. Just by hearing others derive the same benefit. The importance of meditation on the Lord's lotus feet. Another significant point of this verse is that the mind of the conditioned soul, on account of its association with the material energy from time immemorial, contains heaps of dirt in the form of desires to lord it over material nature. This dirt is like a mountain, but a mountain can be shattered when hit by a thunderbolt. Meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord acts like a thunderbolt on the mountain of dirt in the mind of the yogi. All right, so that's one item. Then meditation and temple worship. The Lord's transcendental form can either be meditated upon in the mind or placed in a temple in the form of a statue and decorated in such a way that everyone can contemplate it. Temple worship, therefore, is meant for persons who are not so advanced that they can meditate upon the form of the Lord. There is no difference between constantly visiting the temple and directly seeing the transcendental form of the Lord. They are of equal value. So, seeing the Lord in the temple is equal to meditating on the Lord in the mind. Yogis take advantage of the process of smaranam, whereas bhakti yogis take special advantage of the process of hearing and chanting. Agonies and anxieties mitigating. As long as one is in conditional life in the material body, it is natural that he will suffer from anxieties and agonies. One cannot avoid the influence of material energy, even when one is on the transcendental plane. Sometimes disturbances come, but the agonies and anxieties of the devotees are at once mitigated when they think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his beautiful form, or the smiling face of the Lord. The Lord bestows innumerable favors upon his devotees, and the greatest manifestation of his grace is his smiling face, which is full of compassion for his pure devotees. So is Krishna smiling at you?
Yes, Maharaj.
When we go to see the deities, does Krishna smile? He's
always smiling, Maharaj.
He's looking very happy, yeah? Good. That's his greatest mercy. The entire universe is full of miseries, and therefore the inhabitants of this material universe are always shedding tears out of intense grief. There is a great ocean of water made from such tears. But for one who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ocean of tears is at once dried up. One need only see the charming smile of the Supreme Lord. In other words, The bereavement of material existence immediately subsides when one sees the charming smile of the Lord. We can understand how important it is for us to go and see the deities. And actually not just to go for us to see, but we should go to the deity to be seen. There's a story about the blind man who wanted to go to the temple. So his friend said, why do you want to go to the temple? You're blind, you can't see anything. He said, I want Krishna to see me. So we should also think like that. We should go to the temple to be seen, not just to see. We don't go to the temple just to see Krishna, but we want to be seen by Krishna. So that's the proper consciousness in going in front of the deity. Okay, so here's a summary of these final verses of the chapter. Lord Kapila continues to respond to Devahuti in chapter 27, text 20, about how the soul is bound and freed. So Devahuti had asked about that in the previous chapter, about how the soul is bound and freed. So we've put the summary of the main point from each of the verses. So 34, the yogi's experience. One develops love of God. The yogi's experience, right? The yogis, they don't really develop, well, unless they're bhakti yogis. But the yogi experiences detachment from the body. And the devotee goes on to develop love of God.
Maharaj, in text 34, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Text 34, in the sloka it is said that yogi is bathed in a stream of tears occasioned by intense love. So this, why is a devotee or a yogi who is in intense love, why there is tears? Because in the previous sloka we have seen that tears comes because of the agonies and due to the material existence he is sick of that. So what is this tears? How is this formed? What is the mood behind this tears?
Well, if it's when we're speaking about love of God, if they develop love of God, there would be tears of love, right? There's different kinds of tears. Tears of the misery of the material world, but there's also tears of love of God, the ecstasy, just the joy of having the loving relationship with Krishna, the bhava which the devotee experiences because of shedding of tears, right? We know in Shastikam, yeah, right, the eyes decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when we chant the holy name. So, of course, it's a very advanced stage.
Only when we experience, I think I will know what it is like. Tears coming when next.
Yeah, we hear about it, we read about it. It's you know, it's not so easy for us to experience it. These are high levels of ecstatic love for Krishna. No, but sometimes even we get you know, even without being very qualified, sometimes we may be blessed with that kind of experience, that you shed some tears. Sometimes even a neophyte devotee will come to the temple, will see the deities, and they may shed tears. Or in the kirtan, even a neophyte devotee, very new devotee, may shed tears of joy due to the kirtan.
Mostly the tears are due to the absence of the suffering. The absence, you know, experiencing the happiness, rather than that absence of suffering gives so much relief.
Yes. Yes. Relief from it could be. It's certainly something transcendent. It may be shadow attachment, but that's all right. They're encouraged to go on and follow. All right, text 35. Material mind is destroyed. Text 36. The soul devoid of material coverings. With the purification, get rid of all the coverings of the soul. The material mind removed also. So this is pure. This is the purification, freeing the soul. Text 37, because he has achieved his real identity, he acts totally unaware of his body. So his real identity, it means self-realization. He's understood something of his spiritual position. And so in that kind of consciousness, one no longer thinks about the body. So we read about people like Rishabdev and Sukadeva Goswami, how they were behaving. Now you have Lord Nityananda, Avadhuta. So they're totally detached from the body. 38. The body of such a liberated yogi is taken charge by the Lord. Because they've surrendered completely to the Lord, so the Lord takes care of them. 39, he understands he's different from his body, okay. 40, 41, Bhagavan is different from the jiva. Definitely, that's understood. 42, sees the super soul in all beings and all beings in the super soul. This is similar to the statement in the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. So see the super soul in all beings. Yes, the Lord's in the heart of all beings. And all beings in the super soul. That's a bigger, a big step up. To see all beings in the super soul. 43, the pure soul manifests in different bodies. And 44, after conquering insurmountable Maya, he is self-realized.
Maharaj, I have a doubt in 34.
Yes.
Purport. 34 purport, Nirbija Yoga and Sabija Yoga.
Oh,
Lifeless yoga.
Nirbija and Sabija Yoga, yes. What's your doubt?
I don't understand what is that lifeless yoga and living yoga.
Well, it's explained in the purport. You read the purport. You didn't read it?
Yes, but I'm unable to comprehend or understand what it is.
It's important. We should know that. Sabija and Nirbija Yoga. Yeah?
Forcibly engaged is Nirbija.
Right. When the mind forcibly is engaged, then it's Nirbija or lifeless yoga. For the yogi does not automatically engage in the personal service of the Lord. But when he is constantly thinking of the Lord, that is Sabija Yoga, or living yoga. So, if we have to force the mind to think, we're forcing the mind to think upon the form of the Lord. That is Nirbija Yoga. But it should be spontaneous, like we should come to the Raga Nuga platform, spontaneous devotion, automatically engage. in the personal service of the Lord.
Because ours is also, I mean, mine is not automatically, I am not able to do. So it is nirbija means we are, there is no fruit, no life, or this practice, what it means.
Well, lifeless yoga, and that's what it means, right? But they're talking about engaging engaging upon the form of the Lord, the personal service of the Lord, very personal service. So we have, because we're doing sadhana bhakti, we're following the rules and regulations. So we have to constantly force our mind to think like that, to do this, I have to do that, I have to do, we're not very we haven't come to that level of sabija, where we do it naturally, constantly thinking about the Lord. But, we're on the path. It takes time. It takes time to come to that level.
I was thinking bija is a seed, bija. Seed. I was trying to understand nirbija, no life, no seed. That means, then what is the benefit of that practice?
Yes, but it doesn't. They don't explain it like that. I don't know about if this bija is the same seed, as if it means actually seed. It may be a different. Because it's written in English, you don't know exactly what the word is, with seed or without seed. But the way they explain it, they talk about life. They don't talk about seeds. They're talking about life. So living yoga and lifeless yoga. Lifeless yoga, it's like you're doing it mechanically. You're doing it ritualistically. So it doesn't have real consciousness or feel. There's not so much love there. We haven't developed that real love yet. That's the idea. But Sabija Yogi, constantly thinking of the Lord. So it's with life that you're doing it naturally, spontaneously. It's the Raganuga platform. Right?
Okay, Maharaj.
So we want to come to that level. We want to have life. So Sabij. The seed is the life. You could think of it as life, the potential life. Some seeds, they don't sprout, So we want to germinate the seed, to bring life. There should be life. We want to see life. And we thank you for bringing that up, because that's an important point, those two terms, Sabija, Nirbija. We do want to have life. We want to come to this platform of Sabija, living yoga. It's constantly thinking of the Lord. Not that we're just, do this, do that, and we do it mechanically without much consciousness. So one time Prabhupada said to the temple, he said to the devotees, because you have no bhava, because you offered they offered dead flowers to the deities. So Prabhupada was upset. So life, we have living yoga. That's what we want. We'll go ahead here. Arjuna dovetailed his mind with Krishna's desire. This is called oneness. This oneness, however, did not cause Arjuna and Krishna to lose their individualities. The Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand this. They think that oneness necessitates loss of individuality. Actually, however, we find in Bhagavad Gita that individuality is not lost. When the mind is completely purified in love of God, the mind becomes the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the stage of love of God. So this is the highest stage. The mind becomes the mind of the Supreme Lord. The yogi views his body. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Because he has achieved his real identity, the perfectly realized soul has no conception of how the material body is moving or acting, just as an intoxicated person cannot understand whether or not he has clothing on his body. The body of such a liberated yogi, along with his senses, is taken charge of by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it functions until its destined activities are finished. The liberated devotee, being awake to his constitutional position and thus situated in Samadhi, the highest perfectional stage of yoga, does not accept the byproducts of the material body as his own. Thus he considers his bodily activities to be like the activities of a body in a dream.
So this is the stage of the liberated soul, the yogi. Is completely detached from the body. He doesn't know what's happening with the body. He doesn't even think about the body. Okay. Oh. Yes? Someone else read?
Sushmita Mataji, please read Mataji.
Haribol. Achintya Abheda Tattva. The blazing fire is different from the flames, from the sparks and from the smoke, although all are intimately connected because they are born from the same blazing root. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Param Brahma, is the seer. He is different from the Jiva soul or individual living entity who is combined with the senses, the five elements and consciousness. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.28.40 and 41. Hari.
Thank you. So the living entity, like sparks from the fire, and the big blazing fire, that is the Supreme Lord. So we're born from the fire, we're connected. So the Lord is the seer, and we are to be seen. Understanding the relationship. A yogi should see the same soul in all manifestations, for all that exists is a manifestation of different energies of the Supreme. In this way, the devotee should see all living entities without distinction. That is realization of the Supreme Soul. As fire is exhibited in different forms of wood, so under different conditions of the modes of material nature, the pure spirit soul manifests itself in different bodies. Text 42 and 43. So that's described, of course, in Bhagavad Gita, Vijavanaya Sampani Brahmani Gavihastini Suni Chaiva Swapaki Cha Pandita Samadarshana. Seeing everyone equally the elephant, the cow, the dog eater. So one who is actually in knowledge will see everything. Oh, overcoming the eternal energy. What does it say? Overcoming the eternal enemy.
External energy.
Oh, the external energy. Thank you, because I've got so many things covering my screen here. Okay, this is text 44. Thus a yogi can be in the self-realized position after conquering the insurmountable spell of Maya, who presents herself as both the cause and effect of this material manifestation, and is therefore very difficult to understand. So the yogi becomes self-realized after conquering Maya. So how did he conquer Maya? By Ashtanga Yoga, by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. Overcoming the eternal energy. From Prabhupada's purport, the external energy of the Supreme Lord is durvibhavya, very difficult to understand and very difficult to conquer. One must, however, conquer this insurmountable spell of Maya, and this is possible by the grace of the Lord. For those who engage in devotional service, there is no spell of Maya, and their situation is all perfect. The duty of the living entity as a part and parcel of the whole is to render devotional service to the whole. That is the ultimate perfection of life. Okay, are there any questions here today?
Maharaj, I have a comment.
Yes?
About the question which was raised by Ramanuja Prabhu regarding the Ashtanga Yoga, why Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi is mentioned there in the Yoga Ruda stage. In 6.3, the commentary by Sri Baldev Vidya Bhushan, he states that the Yoga Ruda stage starts with Dhyana.
Oh.
That's why it is there in the picture like that.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaji.
Thank you, Maharaj. There are no questions, Maharaj. There are no hands raised.
All right. No hand raised. Okay, not very challenging, not very philosophical, more technical. Ashtanga Yoga is more technical process, mechanical process. Do this, do that.
The meditation of the Lord's form was wonderful, Maharaj. It's the first time we are reading and hearing it. It's really very, we will be able to focus on the form, meditate. Along with chanting, we can do that, no, Maharaj?
Yes, definitely. Yes, we should chant. We have to chant, and we have to also think of the Lord also. It's very good. Take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Our meditation should begin from His lotus feet. So from that section, we have, it's very nice, very clear how to think of the Lord's lotus feet and the different pastimes and the significance of the Lord's feet, and how the water which washes His feet is taken on the head of Lord Shiva, and the different markings on the Lord's lotus feet. So we'll send you that, I'll get that name of that book for you.
Art of Chanting, Maharaj. The book name is Art of Chanting by Mahanidhi Swami Maharaj.
Art of...
There is a book for lotus feet marking also.
Yeah, there's...
Another book is...
Yeah, but this is there even in Facebook. If you see, for every marking, Mahanidhi Swami Maharaj's comment is there in Facebook also. You just Google it, you will get it.
Oh, really?
Yes, Maharaj, I just tried it.
All
I can share the link to them.
It's got all the markings and everything?
Yes, of Srimati Radharani's and Krishna's.
Oh, okay.
You want me to share that, Maharaj?
No, I have the book.
So what do you want me to do, Maharaj?
Okay, give me that. Yeah, it's easier if I have a soft copy, yeah. Because I don't have soft copy. I just had the book. I had the hard copy for a long time.
No, it is just talking about the markings, Maharaj.
I'm just talking about the markings,
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, that's all it is. I know, that's what the book is.
So if you want to share the photocopies, then I'll share it, Maharaj, whatever you say.
Yeah, we want to share.
So I don't have the book here, Maharaj. I have it.
Oh, I see.
I just found it from the Facebook. It is there. Just the markings and the meaning of the markings are there.
Well, that's what's in the book. Anyway, I'll try to. I'll send you the name of the book, and maybe you can search it. Come on, I'll get it just now. Let me see. Okay, so it's the book is called Sri Radha Govinda Meditations, Divine Forms and Lotus Feet.
So you got the book name, and I think Ramanji Prabhu has also shared it in WhatsApp. So the question is answered already.
And yeah, he translated it from a book by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But this has got, it's got Radharani's lotus feet, Shamsundar's lotus feet, meaning of the symbols of Radha Krishna's lotus feet, Sri Shamsundar's dhyana, Srimati Radhika dhyana, Srimati Radhika, what is it? Srimati Radhika's flower ornaments, Radha Govinda, a guided meditation on Radha Govinda, Yoga Pith Dhyana. Is it there on Facebook?
It doesn't have everything, Maharaj. The Facebook has only the markings and the meanings.
Okay. Anyway, that's the main thing, what you want.
And one of the students has already shared it in WhatsApp. So, Mataji wanted to know the meaning and it's there already.
Okay. So questions is answered, huh?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Okay, so then we'll finish here tonight. And that Monday is the last class, right?
Yes, Maharaj. And you'll have time till 31st is your test on CVA. You'll have time to prepare for that. And the next class of Unit 14 will start, after the next class, the Unit 14 will start in April 4th.
April 4th.
Yes, the schedule is there, Maharaj. The schedule I've shared with the students and also with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll see you on Monday. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki. Hari.